always talking about it. But what if I really like more of a matte look? What if I want something that is modern and matte and doesn't have that high glow? So what I want to talk to you a little bit about before we get started is you can do two things. Number one, if you want to go all matte, that really is a very striking look. It makes a statement. If you want to go all dewy, that also makes a very striking statement. However, if you want to balance it, like do a matte skin and maybe a matte eye, but then balance it with a little bit more of something soft and glossy on the lip, you can do that too. So what I want to do today is show you how to get a matte, not flat look.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Which is really beautiful, because if you go back in history, when you think sometimes of people that, like in the era of, like, say, Marilyn just had beautiful satiny skin. You know, she wasn't all highlighted up. It was just gorgeous. But then look at J-Lo, and she's all highlighted up, and it's fabulous. So there is beauty in both looks, but we're going to merge them since so many of you had asked me about how to get a matte but not flat look. So number one, now I don't have any foundation on, so number one, what I want to do is I think it's crucial that you start with primer. We talk about that all the time, and Laura's Spackle is really incredible because I'm using, first of all, let me tell you, this is...
Well, she's really the one that put primer on the map.
She put primer on the map, and this is her original Spackle. Now, you hear us talk about ethereal, this Spackle, that Spackle. This is her original Spackle, and what it does is it retexturizes the surface of the skin to create this really smooth, even, flawless surface, right? And it locks in your skincare, it locks in your serums, and then creates this beautiful veil
like a canvas almost.
That kind of blurs the imperfections a bit. But then when you put your foundation over it, it locks that in throughout the course of the day. You know, I was on yesterday when we were doing Spackle, and I was talking about how many times have you put on your serums, your moisturizers, then you put your makeup on and you're like, oh my God, I look so good. And then you leave the house, and an hour later, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay. You know, your cheek is over here, and the line is over here, and things have fallen apart. So Spackle, unlike other primers, is so weightless that you don't even know you're wearing it, because a lot of them are so heavy that they actually make makeup slide off. Now, the reason I chose original Spackle is because this is something you can do to start to get a satiny look on your skin without it being flat.
Okay.
So if you're someone that, now you have your Spackle, right?
Well, I have it, but I was just gonna see if I'm using the right amount.
Okay, so I want you to use this much. I would say,
boom,
what's that, half
so
a dime?
far, I'm getting an A in beauty school.
You are your beauty IQ is very high. Yeah. So we're gonna use, and you're gonna, let's pretend if you were at home, you would have on your moisturizers and your serums, and then you would press this right over it, press it everywhere. Now you will see within a minute or two that your skin automatically, without anything else, just starts to look cleaner, starts to look nicer, it blurs out imperfections, and it does create this beautiful veil. So if you're someone that, number one, loses your makeup during the course of the day, if you're someone who changes color, you know, a lot of women actually change foundation color. So that is.
I do throughout the year.
You do. No. Your skin, like, throughout the day.
Oh,
like,
no, not throughout the day.
You might put it on, and all of a sudden it gets more orangey, and you're like, well, what just happened? I started off the right color, and I ended up like a pumpkin by the end of the day. That's the oils in your skin changing those colors. That happens to me a lot, and I'm not even that oily, and it happens to me.
Gotcha.
So what this does, it is going to lock everything into place. It is an essential piece to your makeup arsenal to really get that skin just nice and smooth and even. Now take a look. You can see it's dry on me. It only took like a minute.
Yeah.
I've locked in, you know, I was in the back.
Dry.
I'm obsessed with anything Josie. So I was in the back off stage putting on all my nice oils and everything. And now I've locked them in.
Feels great,
Isn't
by
it
the
great?
way.
It's not heavy.
So it just takes, I mean, what was that? I don't even know, like 30 seconds or so.
30
The
seconds.
skin feels so silky smooth and ready and prepped for our next step.
Yeah, and there's aloe in it. It's loaded with plant botanicals and extracts, so it's really, really, really good for your skin. It's super easy to use. So,
all right, so let's move on. Let's get our foundation on, girl, because we're sitting here
you're like
naked,
on.
basically.
Okay. All right. So I chose Double Take, and I'll tell you why. Double Take is this, it's really the next generation of baked. And what that means is this is a baked foundation, but it's also a wet, dry formula. Now, what's so exciting about that is that it's full coverage. And if you use it wet, it does come up a little more luminous. But if you use it dry, it is a full coverage that gives you a